Hey guys, this is Umberto from Max Fitness and welcome back to my channel. With today's video, I'm going to show you how to take care of your rotator cuff injury. The rotator cuff is a group of muscle that surrounds the shoulder, and the only job it has is basically to keep it in place and stabilize when you perform an exercise. When you suffer rotator cuff injuries, you tend to have this kind of dull, aching pain on your shoulder, especially at the front and the side. Sometimes the neck and the traps can get involved as well. And it tends to get worse at night, or when you lift something above your head, or when you rotate backward. For example, if you are reversing your car, you need to get your arms back. When you suffer this kind of injuries, there are a few things that happen to your shoulder. Number one, it might be rotated forward more than usual. You might feel a bit more your trap, like stiffness on the traps, so you will feel the neck and the head as well. It depends on how bad it is. And you will realize that your strength is actually gone, and if you're trying to lift heavy weights above your head, that won't be possible at this stage. So what your body does is it creates pain and it shuts down the strength of some of your muscles, so you won't be able to perform the action and you will stay safe. Basically, it's just trying to keep you away from trouble. So how do you know exactly what happened? How can you identify what the problem was? It's quite simple. Look at your habits. Look what you've been doing in past and how you've been moving. Let's say, for instance, you are used to have a backpack, but to look cool, you're gonna hold it on only one side. That side, to avoid the rucksack to fall off or to slide away from you, is gonna have a little bit shrug like that. It's not much, but that's enough to create a problem. It's gonna become a problem because it's not intense, but it's repetitive. It happens often, and when it happens for a period of time. So the idea is to avoid motions where you possibly shrug and move your arm forward. Same thing, it happens at the desk. If your desk doesn't have a proper setup, or if you stay sitting for too long, your shoulders will round forward and up. That's something normal, it's just because you get tired. So ideally you should have a break every couple of hours so you can move away from the screen and open up again and stand up and move about. It depends on the gravity of the situation. You might not be able to lift your arm above this level really. So how can you get a proper stretch, a proper training session done on that arm in that condition? You will have to support the arm for some time. And the best way I found, personally from other kind of injuries, is this guy here. You're gonna have a broomstick of anything that can actually hold your arm straight. So you're gonna start stretching your arm, keeping your shoulder down without shrugging them. So you're gonna keep it down and you're gonna push it above your head. You're gonna hold it there. The main job in this case is done by my left hand. So I'm gonna hold it here and relax. You're gonna perform this for some time till you feel comfortable. You should not be causing pain. If you go too far back and feel pain, just don't reach that level. Stop wherever you have a decent range of motion where you feel no pain. Another thing you need to look at is if you're actually shrugging. If to get your arm up you need to shrug, then you're compensating for something that your arm is missing. So you are actually strengthening again the traps and going back to the original issue. The idea is that you go down, get the shoulder down and chest out, and then hold it there. The hardest bit for you is gonna be keeping the shoulder down. So after you spend some time doing this kind of stretch, and then you have to address better two different areas. The first one is definitely the chest muscle. It needs to be lengthened, and you need to work as well on those trigger points that get stiff and pull your shoulders forward. And then we're gonna have to relax a bit the trap and possibly your lats. So those are all big muscles that needs to be a little bit quieter when you move your arm. I mean, they need to be relaxed so they allow you to keep the shoulder in place when you move. An easy way to take care of trigger points is getting one of those It's a lacrosse ball. It's a quite rubbery and grippy ball, quite dense, and it helps to work on those tight muscles, and it works like a deep tissue massage, but you do it on your own. So now let's take care of the chest muscle. You need to find a wall or a door frame where you can work on, and you first try to identify where the stiffness is. So generally I find that most of the stiffness is around this area where all your lower bits of the chest muscles are actually grouped together before they get to the shoulder muscles. So you get it there, chest out, place it against a wall or a door frame, as I said. Do not exaggerate with the pressure, keep it simple. And again, with the right hand, you try to hold it there. Once you find the tight spot, apply enough pressure to get 6, maybe 7 out of 10 in terms of pain. So you don't want to reach more than 7, otherwise your body is going to try to get stiffer to protect you because it's too painful, and you want to stay there. Do not increase the pressure, just breathe, relax, and try to cool it down a bit, because at the moment it might be a little bit irritated from the pain that you've been having. Stay a few minutes, a few seconds, it all depends, but once you start to feel like your pain level has gone down to a 5, then you need to floss these muscles. How are we going to floss? We're going to perform this motion on the side where you are working on. So I'm going to go behind my lower back first. Again, control the shoulder. You don't want to shrug even in this position. And then you gently rotate and get it above your head. Try to look for the locking point. Now, if you're moving and you realize there is an area that is actually getting worse, you spend a few seconds there, 5, 6 seconds, take a deep breath, relax, and after some time, you just move forward and you keep doing the same thing a few times till it feels that it's actually getting better. It's very easy on this one to get carried away with pressure and apply too much, and then you're actually gonna feel it really sore on the next day. You don't want to reach that level, you want to calm it down instead. So do not exaggerate and keep it cool at the moment, and don't overdo it. Keep it nice and simple. So now we finished the work on the trigger points around your chest muscles, around the shoulders. Now we need to stretch it and get it more flexible. You can still work on the same spot. You can just put the ball away at the moment and raise the arm till it feels comfortable in a way. You don't want to raise your arm where obviously you have no range of strength to keep it on. You want to get a little bit lower. Make sure that the elbow is actually on the surface you're stretching it on, simply because all your rotator cuff muscles are actually attached to the first bit of your arm. So if your elbow is not getting in on a stable surface, you're not actually stretching your chest. So place the elbow, chest out, shoulders back and down, and then you just move a little bit forward. You hold this position, see how it feels, see how the stretch feels. You don't want to rotate or try to twist the other way. You want to stay straight and you just go forward when you want to apply more pressure. If it feels too easy, you can crawl with your hands a little bit higher and keep doing the same thing. You say, okay, now I've got the stretch right. If you are overdoing it, you're gonna feel your hands having a kind of a dull ache. You're gonna feel pins and needles. It's gonna go numb. It can be a number of things. That's simply because you are actually restricting the blood flow in the area, so you're not helping it. If you feel like that, get the arm back down and push less. The idea is to get blood flow in the area, and so you can increase the amount of anti-inflammatories around the shoulder points. But if you're overdoing it, you're restricting it and reduce the blood flow instead. Right guys, now we need to reach your upper trap, which is up here. And to do that, we will need a ball again. We're gonna place it here. Keep a foam roller handy or something that can actually support you. You will see in a moment why. And lie down, putting pressure on it. Even though at this stage it might not be particularly uncomfortable, to get more pressure, that's where the formula comes handy, you need to perform a bridge and possibly stay there in this position. Now I can actually feel the ball right on the trigger point and my pain level has gone up to a 7, maybe 8 out of 10. If the pressure is too much, move the roller away so you can lower a bit the elevation that you have on your hips. You hold it there, and like we did earlier on with our chest smash with the lacrosse ball, we're gonna perform exactly the same motion where we start from the lower back, get the arms elevated, rotate it, and you got bow your head. Hold it there, gently down. Now here I feel more pain. So what I do is I'm gonna spend a few seconds on this spot, breathe deeply, relax it, and when I feel that it's getting better, I keep moving. If I feel another spot that is quite tender, then I stop and do it again. You don't wanna rush it, you wanna be very gentle, as you don't wanna get your pain worse. So now let's look at strengthening those muscles. The one that generally gets really weak is the one from the sides, so the rotator cuff in charge for the external rotation. This is also the one you possibly feel this dull aching sensation most of the time. You're gonna need one of those. It's a resistance band. You don't necessarily need one of those. You might have dumbbells. If you want, you can find stuff in the house, I don't know, tin of beans or tomatoes, bottles of water, anything that can create really a resistance. Those are calibrated bands and they are for physiotherapists. So they're generally really light, really easy to use. But yes, as you're getting stronger, you can stretch a little bit farther, so you get more resistance as you go. The first exercise I want you to perform is a standing external rotation. You're gonna have your band a little bit tight here, chest out, shoulders together. Again, don't shrug, so you need to keep your shoulders back and down, and your elbows needs to be tucked to your body. When you hold it like that, pull it out, hold it for a few seconds, and down. As you can see, my hands is facing up, thumbs outward. You pull it, hold it there, you might feel a bit of shake, and then back in. When you go back in, do not have a relaxed band. You need to have a bit of tension, so you stop right here, the band is still pulling, my muscles are still on, you pull it out, and then you go back in. You need to see how many you can perform, you can do really, how many reps you can do. If you are in pain, I will say just go by the pain. The moment it gets too painful, stop. Otherwise, you can do easily 15 to 20 reps. Those are meant to be just to increase the blood flow in the area and slowly allow you to get the strength back. The second rotation exercise I want you to do with the band is in an elevated position. When you do that, you want to have your arms up, so in this case, shoulders high. Don't go too high or you're going to engage your traps again. So make sure that before you start, you pull it in and your shoulders need to be tight in place. Once you get there, then you rotate. Hold it there, few seconds, and then down. Try to do it again. Hold it there, few seconds, and then down. Again, like the previous exercise, you're gonna do as many as you can tolerate, but ideally you wanna get very high reps, 15, 20, even 25. But if you hold it for that long, you're gonna get tired quite quickly, so try to find the right balance. Okay, we just finished the work on the sides with our band. Now we want to work more on the back, because the real problem is not actually here, the real problem is at the back. Because you keep rounding your shoulders forward, you're actually stretching all the back muscles and making them weaker. So what we have to do is teach to our body to keep the shoulders back, nicely in position, but to do that, they need a bit more strength. So we're gonna use the band one more time for 2 more exercises. The first one is the T. You're gonna have the band here quite loose, chest out. Now your shoulders will try again to shrug, but you will need to hold them in position. As you can see, my arm is slightly bent. The moment you go locked, your neck will kick in. It will try to overtake the exercise. You want to keep your arms slightly bent so you can concentrate on these shoulders muscles on the squeeze. So as I said, it's called the T simply because you're going to represent the letter. You're going to hold the position like that. In a T position, it's like on a cross. You hold it there, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then let it go. What you don't want to feel is up here anything. You don't want those muscles to do anything. You just want to feel your shoulder blades squeeze together. I will show you again. Abs and glutes engage as well, just for stability. You pull it back, hold it, check that you're actually doing it right, and then control it when it moves back forward. And then again, you pull it one more time. And in terms of prescription, we are looking at, again, 15 to 20 reps like we did earlier on. The next one is the Y, and you need to anchor this resistance band try to secure it on something low this time. It could be a dumbbell, it could be anything that can just hold it down. Our starting point is going to be here this time, chest out, shoulders back and down, and you're going to raise your arm wherever you can. Even if it's here, that's still okay. You hold it there and then you go down. Ideally, you want to get the full range of motion. You're going to have a Y shape. You're going to hold it here, chest out, gently control it when you go down. What this sort of exercise does is work on the lower bit of your traps muscle. The trap is like a star-shaped muscle, okay, that is just behind your neck. It goes around your shoulders and then goes back down into the spine. So to work on the lower bit, you will have to raise your arm and teach your body to use those muscles as a primary stabilizer instead of your neck muscles. I'm going to show you again. Chest out, shoulders back and down. You try to get to a Y position and then control it back down. On this exercise, it's very likely to happen that you want to struggle, even more than all others that we just seen. So control is the main order in this case. Keep the shoulder down, especially on the side that is being irritated, and perform again a few reps to check it, how it feels, and then ideally you want to build up to high reps. So guys, we've been working with the lacrosse ball, we've been working with the resistance band. It's now time to add some weights. The exercises you're going to perform are not going to be many. I'm actually going to focus my attention to two only. The first one is an elevated external rotation exercise where you're going to need a dumbbell. You're going to perform it chest out, shoulder down. You're going to need to have a surface where you can place your elbows. It can be on a desk, it can be on the top of a barbell, but it needs to be elevated to shoulder level. You're going to allow your arm to go forward and bring it back up again. You breathe in and get it back up, breathe out, okay? You want to be very gentle. It needs to be controlled. And do not let it go way too low to the point that you're actually stretching the muscle, okay? You don't want to stretch it. There is a limit that you can reach. So I will not go any farther than that. And get it back up again. Make sure that you don't lose control to the point that you actually feel relaxed. If the muscle is relaxing, you won't be able to get it back up again. The second exercise is performed on one side. Now, I'm sure you think is an external rotation because you've seen this quite a lot. But we won't need to do that if we have done so much work with the band and with the previous exercise I just shown you. Instead, we want to work again on the shoulders, on the back, where we try to control the weight moving forward. So you want to take like 5-6 seconds, even longer if you can, without struggling. The shoulder has to be back and down. And then retract the shoulders, bringing the arm back. You hold it here, and you lower it very, very, very slow. You want to control as much as possible and get it back up. Don't let it touch the floor. You need to be in charge. Don't let it relax. Perform like 5-6 of those, and you're gonna feel it straight away on the back. You're gonna feel exactly where your shoulder girdle is. And this is one of the most rewarding in terms of strength exercises that you can do for your shoulder. That's it, guys. That was all for today. Don't forget to help the channel out hitting the subscribe button, and if you have any other queries or other questions about exercising, or you want other videos to see, just leave a few words on the comment down below and I will come back to you as soon as possible. Till then, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.